tortured me and threw me out there to the wolves.
Thank you. You got it. Thank you.
Put him in handcuffs, Johnny. Turn on the mic here. What's going on, Sheriff?
Hey, how are y'all?
You good, man?
Everybody ready?
I'm gonna mic you up real quick.
Okay, sure.
Going.
Good.
Can we just throw it in the pocket here if you want? Let me turn that radio off.
Okay. Good evening. We're here to give an update on a case that happened this afternoon. Although things unfolded pretty quickly this afternoon, this is a case that we've been working on for a couple of weeks. As I mentioned, I think I told you all about it a couple of weeks ago when we stopped a vehicle suspected of being involved in human smuggling. At that point, we had made mention of the fact that we have seen, our organized crime group has seen an uptick in violent crime out in this area. Just a whole lot of different activity that typically this is a pretty quiet rural area, but we saw what was an uptick. A couple weeks back, we investigated a kind of a running gun battle pursuit between two vehicles. One vehicle rammed another, just crazy stuff that we're not used to seeing out here in a rural setting. So we knew there was something amiss. Our organized crime group started doing surveillance and developed information that this house here was involved in really a variety of things. Stolen vehicles were being taken from here locally, being brought here, gutted. And we've got some evidence that they're gutting the vehicles here. Those stolen vehicles were then heading south and then being brought back up with smuggling victims in them. We established surveillance out here over the course of the last couple of weeks. Today we developed some intelligence that there may have been some stolen vehicle involvement along with some smuggling operations, and so our organized crime group converged on this area. We did stop, I believe it was a total of 5 vehicles leaving here, one 18-wheeler, a couple of truck SUV type vehicles, and then some sedans that were stopped. All in all, we had about 24 people detained. 9 of those people are actually smuggling suspects. In other words, coyotes, people that are smuggling other humans up north to the tune of big money. We did find probably about $60,000 in cash that we've seized as a result of today's operation. One large 18-wheeler that was seized, and hopefully now these smuggling victims that were rescued as a result of this, we're interviewing them at this point to find out what, if anything, they may have also been victims of. Several young ladies within the group, all between the ages of, I'd say, late teens, early 20s to in their 30s. Everybody seemed pretty healthy. We talked to them. It seemed like they had eaten as recently as today. Not like that other group that we saw a couple weeks ago where they hadn't eaten in 2 days or had anything to drink. This group seemed pretty well fed. We did have to give some of the young ladies blankets. Obviously the weather dropped and they weren't prepared for the elements, so we did give them some blankets. But as of now, everybody's safe and sound, and we are going to be probably looks like we'll be arresting 9 people tonight, all in all, for being involved as being coyotes. Esta noche nosotros vamos a dar más información tocante un caso que nosotros estamos trabajando. Nosotros hemos notado nuestra unidad de crimen organizada. Ellos han estado trabajando en esta área porque hemos visto actividad criminal incrementando en esta área, incluyendo crímenes violentos. Nosotros hemos visto incidentes con tiroteos entre vehículos, algunos vehículos que se iban persiguiendo y disparándose uno al otro. Entonces eso, no estamos impuestos a ver eso en esta área del condado, sino que la mayoría del tiempo está bien quedito acá, pero hemos visto estos criminales entrando al área La información que nosotros agarramos fue que han estado robándose carros de aquí de San Antonio, trayéndolos para esta casa, quitándole todo de dentro de los carros, llevando los carros al sur y luego ya regresando con gente víctimas de contrabando de seres humanos. Nuestra unidad de crimen organizada ya empezaron a investigar. Este día ellos tomaron información que había una operación en efectivo este día. Ya llegaron, logramos tumbar, me parece que 5 vehículos con 24 personas detenidas. De esas personas sabemos que hay 9 que son sospechosos, que ellos son sospechosos de contrabando de seres humanos. Ahorita agentes federales están hablando con todas esas personas para poder averiguar cuáles de ellos son víctimas y cuáles de ellos son coyotes. Pero lo que sabemos ahorita es que 9 de las personas que tenemos detenidas son coyotes. También se sabe que nosotros les quitamos a este grupo, los coyotes, más que $60,000 en dinero en efectivo que nosotros nos hemos llevado, y también varios vehículos que nosotros nos llevamos. Cuando menos uno de esos muebles es robado. Within this house, it should be noted that this is basically a stash house. There's really nothing in there, no furniture to speak of. I think there's one bed in one of the bedrooms, but what was interesting to note is that, and I think we've got pictures of it, there was a pretty sizable altar to Santa Muerte, which is what's considered to be the patron saint of drug smugglers. And so that pretty much tells us there that this was not just a human smuggling operation. This was most likely a drug smuggling operation as well, with ties to organized crime, to cartel crime, which again would be indicative of why we've seen an uptick in violent crime in the area. Any questions?
So, of the 20, so 9 are coyotes, 15 are undocumented?
The 15 victims, I believe, are all undocumented, and they were in the process of being smuggled north. Some of the understanding that we have is that some of these people were in the process of being smuggled up as far as New York from here today.
All those victims are female?
No, some of them were young ladies. But I think the majority of them were young men, but if memory serves, I think we were dealing with about 5 young ladies that at present they weren't complaining of having been victims of anything. But again, we're getting them, to where they can talk freely, and we'll try to determine if they're victims of anything else.
And this bust was a result of y'all surveillance, or were y'all tipped off about this attempt?
No, there was a lot of surveillance involved over the past couple of weeks. As we mentioned, we saw that uptick in crime that was just bugging us, because we knew that area is not known for that sort of thing. And to see literally running gun battles and pursuits between vehicles ramming each other, that's not something that's characteristic to this area of the county. And so we knew that there was something more amiss.
Saying that this might be a part of something larger. Is there anything you want to say to the residents out here? Any warning?
Just that, look, a lot of our best information, and our organized crime group has had a lot of success here as of late. They've been doing a great job working with other agencies and developing information, but a lot of our best information comes from the community. People that are just tired of seeing things going south in their neighborhood, tired of seeing crime, especially in areas like this where it's typically quiet, rural area. You can give us a call anywhere in the county, whether you're out in unincorporated Bexar County like where we are right now, or whether you're in downtown city limits somewhere. You can call us at 210-335-GANG, 210-335-GANG, and you can leave information, and you can remain anonymous. But again, a lot of our best information comes from the community itself.
Sheriff, there were multiple scenes, right?
Yes, sir.
So how many were we?
I believe there were at least 3 scenes of traffic stops involving several different vehicles. Some of those people, at least 2 of the coyotes, took off on foot and ran. But of course, attached to our organized crime group are our SWAT teams, which those aren't folks you need to be running from, because they're going to catch you, and that's absolutely what they did. And so they did make those catches pretty quick on those foot pursuits. So we did get everybody into custody. I do believe there were some vehicles that made it out that we were not able to stop, but for the most part, I think we got everybody safe and secured.
So just verifying 9 suspects, 15 victims, $60,000. Seized. Anything else that you guys found or confiscating?
We found one weapon here. I don't know if it's a stolen weapon, one stolen vehicle here, and I believe the property we're going to be looking at possibly undertaking seizure proceedings there. We'll be contacting some of our federal partners and seeing if this property is something that we can seize as well.
Any drugs found today?
No drugs found yet. Now we are still waiting to complete the search here. So no drugs as of yet, but as I mentioned, the indicators that we found here, you know, the Santa Muerte altar, that's pretty indicative of drug trafficking, a drug trafficking organization, and so I wouldn't be surprised if we did find some drugs.
En total, ¿cuántas fueron las personas detenidas?
24 personas detenidas, 9 de esas personas ahorita ya se sabe que son coyotes, entonces ya todavía tenemos que averiguar de cuáles de las otras personas son solamente víctimas y de qué son víctimas, si solamente contrabando o si también fueron víctimas de otro delito.
¿Y en la zona han aumentado los robos de vehículos durante los últimos días?
No, pues ya sabemos que en la ciudad de San Antonio, en el condado de Bexar, vemos muchos robos de carros. Y muchas veces esos carros ya sabemos que van al sur y están, los carros esos son usados por el contrabando de seres humanos. Entonces ya se sabe que en esta casa, en esta propiedad, eso estaba pasando. Tenemos evidencia ahí atrás de los asientos de adentro de los carros que los quitan, le quitan todo de adentro del carro para poder caber más personas en el carro, y es lo que vemos atrás de la casa, abajo de la casa, hay puros asientos de los carros donde los arrancan de los carros y los dejan ahí.
They're all in ICE custody or federal custody?
HSI was the federal agency involved, and you know, at this point I don't know what they do. I know that they treat these folks as victims until proven otherwise. And so, you know, right now my understanding is they were going to get them fed, get them some water, and get them to where they could relax and let us know what it was that they've been through the last couple of days. Okay?
Just one more question.
Yes, sir.
Any concern on your end finding something like this that could lead to something bigger?
Well, absolutely. You know, with our organized crime groups, the reason that we have our organized crime unit, our whole unit is assigned to the TAG Center, the Texas Anti-Gang. And the reason that there's the advantage of that is because every major agency, federal, state, and local, has representation there. And so if it's, once we gather intelligence from a case like this, we feed it to all the partner agencies, and then everybody starts working from their end. And so from here, investigations like this tend to spiderweb out. And so absolutely, I think this one's not over by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, thank you. Oh. Yes, sir.